All right, we are recording. All right, so everybody can see my screen pretty well. Y'all see the goal setting? Okay, all right, just want to make sure. All right, so goal setting and why it's hard to hit them. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so a lack of ownership. A lot of people think that you have to set a goal and that's the end all be all. And it's not. You actually have to have an emotional tie to your goals. And what that means is like you have some sort of relationship with that goal, right? So let's say if you want to lose weight, okay, well, why do you want to lose weight? Because you want to fit into that swimsuit, not because, Jane down the street wanted to lose weight. So you want to lose weight with her. That's cool if you want to do it with her. But if you're doing it for not you, it's not going to work as well. You're probably not going to hit it, to be honest. So that also goes into you make others' goals your goals. And it's whatever's important to you, right? So like if let's say you have a goal of reaching a credit card to be paid off, okay? So let's start there. um, you you want to make sure that okay, thank you. um, Sorry, I got sidetracked. You want to get the credit card paid off. Let's say it's only $500, but nobody needs to know that except for you because it's your goal. Everybody is going to give you praise and appreciation because you did it. Nobody has to know how small or how big your goal is. You don't have to talk about how much you want to pay off. It's up to you, right? So I'm just using credit cards as an example. All right. So let's see here. And it has to be something that's going to satisfy you. So not your spouse, not your mom, not your coworker, you, just you. And like I said before, you don't have to worry about your goals being worthy of what people might think is big enough. Okay. I wanted to be able to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning starting back in April. So I did it. And instead of me bragging about it and saying that I wanted to get up at 5 a.m., I just said, I want to start getting up earlier. And then when people started to see me getting up at 5 a.m. every day, they were like, yo, this girl, she's consistent. She's got this taken care of. Yeah, it was a lot easier when I was at home every day during like the quarantine, but I still did it and I hit my goals. And what that helped me do is that helped me hit my other goals because I was consistent with getting up at 5 a.m. every day. I'm working on it because now it's January and it's a little difficult. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. Time management. Be realistic and optimistic. What that means is like you want to know what your limits are, right? So if you know that you can't physically be somewhere by 5 o'clock, don't tell somebody you're going to be there by 5 o'clock. Like actually make in the time of like, okay, well, I get off work at 4, I have a call at 5. How long does it take for me to get home? So you have all of that time accounted for. And also know your limits with your body. If you want to get on a call at 9 o'clock, but your body is literally saying, please don't, I can't sit anymore, I can't stand anymore, I can't do anything, listen to it, because what that's going to do is that's going to make you more able to do something the next day. If once that is taken care of and you're starting to listen to yourself, track your time and block out time for your business electronically or on paper. That is really hard for a lot of people if they're used to doing it a certain way and it hasn't done anything for their business. Try something different. I've talked about this before. If you're used to doing something on paper, try it electronically and set reminders. If you like a good old like planner on your phone and you want to try it on paper, try that and see how that works. I mean, those things weigh like less than half a pound. You can stick it in your bag. You also want to keep wiggle room accounted for, including travel time. And when you have that travel time, use it more intentionally. If you're driving, listen to a podcast, schedule a potential call. I mean, most of those time, those potential calls are you just talking to them and figuring out what their needs are and figuring out what their wants are and their goals. And you actually, driving is kind of like a second nature thing. So with you driving, you might forget a turn or four because that happens. But at least you're engaged in the conversation and you can actually double your time, right? You're driving to get somewhere and you're also having this conversation with somebody. Just use your time wisely. All right. So how many of y'all work full-time? Anybody work full-time? Anybody in chat? Because I can't see it. Let me see here. Okay. Everybody that work full-time. Yep. Do you Do you do something other than this business? Anybody? Yeah, okay. So we got some actual dual income earners over here. All right. Stop setting yourself up for failure, because we all know the workday doesn't ever pan out the way you want it to go. Hi, it's me. I say I'm going to be free from 9:30 to 9:50 because that's my scheduled break. Veronica can tell you, am I ever free from 9:30 to 9:50? Hardly ever. But what ends up happening is that when I tell myself I'm going to be free during that time, I end up setting myself up for failure, because then I feel like I let her down, or I feel like I let myself down, or my team, or anybody else, because I say that I'm going to do something and then I physically can't because my job is on the line if I don't. So whether it's a meeting you forgot about, or your coworker is out, so you're managing both workloads, also me, stop setting your goals during your workday. When you set your goals during your workday, you literally will set yourself up for failure, especially if you have days like I do where it's just nonstop. And I think there are a couple people that literally cannot have their phones during the workday. So do some goals that you can do in between, right? Like income producing activities, like exhaustion when you go, story exhaustion when you go to the restroom, or responding to messages if you have a few minutes. But don't do it when you're not focused and paying attention. That's a multitasking thing you should not be doing. So make sure you manage your time. Because then if you do try to squeeze those little things in, you're going to end up stressing yourself out, and then you pass that time block, and then you can't get to it. So don't stress yourself out. All right. Also, I like to take my backpack everywhere. My backpack goes with me everywhere. The girls that are coming this weekend, you will see that I have my backpack full of my Monat stuff everywhere I go. Even if I don't have time for it, I can't say that I won't be able to get my work done because I have my stuff with me. I always go prepared. All right. Any questions so far? Good. All right. This one is going to hit y'all a little bit. You're not willing to do the hard work. And by the hard work, I mean like actually putting in the time for personal development, putting in time to actually organize yourself, putting in time to do all the little things that will help you succeed in the long run. But everyone fails. It's okay. It's part of the growth process. Like that's how you learn, right? And if you're challenged, that'll lead to growth as well. Like if people are blowing up your DMs and they're sending you like all these articles about what money is or isn't, or what kind of lawsuits we're talking about this time, you got to put in the hard work to figure out how to answer those questions. And it's going to be a challenge. And you're not always going to get that market partner because of those stupid articles that are, putting us in bad light. You're not always going to get that VIP because all she read about was this girl that lost her hair. Y'all know the education on that. I'll let y'all handle that one. Also, stop calling them mistakes. Stop. Just stop. Because when you call it a mistake, that has a negative impact on your psyche, whether you like it or not. Replace the word mistake with experience. Say, that was an experience. All right, cool. I learned. I got it. All right, next time I won't do that because I know that it's going to lead me to a bigger purpose, right? My word this month is but. I need to get rid of the word but. I'm replacing it with and, because what that's going to end up doing is helping me succeed. I have this to do, and I'm going to work around my time to get this done. Not but, because all that does is that makes the first part of the sentence not worth it. Like people are going to stop listening to you after that first part. All right. Yes. Thank you, V. I'm trying my best. All right. This one gets me right in the heartstrings. You're distracted. You're distracted. Are you really focusing on the activity that you're doing, or is your brain elsewhere? I'm going to reiterate this. You really, really, really need to stop multitasking in regards to growth. Okay. If you're on a live call, put your phone on do not disturb. If you're listening to a podcast that is more of a training, you want to be focused on it. Driving doesn't count because I already talked about it. It's a second nature, but you're going to be able to absorb it because you're driving. If you are in a position where you are able to write something down as you remember it, write it down. Just write it down, because then you won't forget. Or voice memo yourself. There is an app on iPhone. I don't know if there is for Android phones, but There is an app on iPhone where you can voice record onto there. I've done it because that's how I used to live my life, was recording voice memos to myself. And then once you get home, or once you get to a stopping point, review that list, work down your list. Just do it one item at a time. Don't look at that item list of like 10 things. Just start at the top and go from there. It's really simple. If you look at all 10, 15 items that you have on your list, you're going to get overwhelmed. You really will. All right, the next thing is insufficient rewards. How many of y'all are like, I'm gonna get a car next month because my bonus is gonna be crazy stupid? I'm gonna get the Cadillac because I know I'm gonna hit MM, but you haven't hit MMP yet. I know there are some people that have these incredible goals. It's not impossible. It just might be too big. And what ends up happening is you keep failing yourself and failing yourself and failing yourself. So where's the big payoff with these goals that you have? Are you going to actually hit them? Or are you going to start to build on these tiny goals, right? So reward yourself with many things, with many, not many, sorry. I like to do a coffee treat for myself. If I get up at 6 a.m. instead of 6:30, which has been difficult, I'm going to reward myself with Starbucks because I feel like I deserve it. Say I haven't had enough time to catch up on another repeat of a One Tree Hill episode. I'm going to watch that once I finish something. You want to celebrate along the way to hitting those goals. You want, hold on, somebody, can you all mute yourself? Okay. Sorry, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. You want to celebrate along the way, and having several mini rewards along the way will help you reach the big goal or payoff. So whatever brings you joy, whatever. But you have to remind yourself that if the reward is going to be small, then the goal needs to be small. If the reward is going to be bigger, then the goal needs to be bigger. You want to make sure that there's an equal matchup, right? So for instance, if you told your friend you'd go out after you finished, exhausting stories, and you still haven't finished and you're about 30 minutes later than you wanted it to be, don't go out until you finish. Just tell your friend, hey, look, I'm running behind. I'll be there when I can. All right. Or let's say you have like an idea of like, or an experience, I'm sorry, of like going to go hiking up through the mountains, but you really have to do this, that, and the other. Go and do those things. That way you can go on that hike. You don't know who you're going with yet, but you might have like a whole group, and you know what's going to happen is that you're going to let them down because you weren't able to make it. So that should be your influence to do better and to get stuff done. But don't half-ass it, please. Please don't. Because if you cheat, then all that's going to do is hurt you, and you can't blame anybody but yourself if you end up cheating yourself. And that means like copying and pasting conversations. People will pick up on that if you copy and paste conversations. Make it something that they'll interact with you with. All right, last one. Old habits die hard. Everybody said 2020 was their year. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Okay, hi, I said that. Okay, 2021 is not going to be anybody's year. You know why? Because everybody right now has literally taken a step back from some goal. Somebody has not reached a goal that they said that they were going to hit. How long has your year taken? Did you stop after the 4th day? 2 weeks? I lasted until January 9th for dry January. I still did it 9 days. I gave myself props for 9 days, but then I said, you know what? I got to start over. So when I came home from my trip, I decided that today I wasn't going to drink. Cool. I get to start over, and I can't wait. And that's the cool thing about goals, is that you do get to start over. You focus on the process more than the goal. You focus on like what it's teaching you in order to get to your end goal. So I was listening to a podcast probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago and did a little bit of reading on it. A lot of people fail at their goals. Have some sort of experiences with their goals after 4 days. 4 days is the hardest day to get over. You go work out. You say, I'm going to go work out every day. How many of y'all didn't go work out after the 4th day? I said I was going to go work out 7 days. It didn't work. I still haven't gone to the gym. Actually, no, I went once. And then apparently 63 days is the number that it takes to actually continually make a habit happen. So if you're falling back into these bad habits, try to push yourself. You didn't wake up at 5:30. Okay, let's try 5:45. And then keep going until you make it to 5:30. You didn't get a chance to put out 4 offers. Okay, maybe you need to reduce your goal. Maybe you need to set it at 3 or 2. Maybe you need to set it at 1. But make those goals attainable. That way you can actually learn from it and then get value out of it. Be honest with yourself, and I said this before, if you have to restart, then restart. If anything, people are going to praise you for saying, "You know what? You did a great job. I'm so glad you're honest with me. You know, let's try again. Let's try again." Because what that shows is that you're disciplined, that you want to do it again. It shows that you're motivated, and it shows that you're ready to make a difference. Again, the only person that you can blame for the restart is you. So don't say, "Oh, well, so and so over there is, telling me that I can't do it, so I'm not going to do it." Okay, no, that's not how that works. So, does anybody have any questions? I need to find chat because I can't find it on my computer because I'm a little bit slow when it comes to Zoom. How do I do this? Stop share, that way I can see all your beautiful faces. Let's see. All right, no questions? Wow, that's a first time I've not had any questions on one of my calls. Sure. Well, I'm here for it. That means it was a success. All right, y'all. Well,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. If you have any questions about goal setting, ask me or Veronica because we took that class and it was freaking mind-blowing. So we will see you guys later tonight on the call and later on this week. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you.